Hi, welcome to the first episode of River Rankings. I'm River Raccoon, and today we are going to be discussing which of these Pokémon Unite Pokémon that I think are capable enough to vote in an election. Let's go ahead and pull that up now. We've got all of the Pokemon Unite Pokemon, minus Azumarill, which at the time of creating this video has not come out yet. And we are going to decide whether I think that they have the intellectual capacity to vote in an election. So let's go ahead and put on some music real quick. We're going to go ahead and put on some Pokemon Unite music in the background, and let's go ahead and start discussing. Alright, first up, we've got Venusaur, one of the OG starters. He is probably one of the best starters for Gen 1. However, I do not think that he has the mechanical intelligence to vote in an election. I don't think he can think that deeply. I think he's just kind of an animal. He just wants to go to the forest. He just wants to chillax. He just wants to absorb some sunlight. I don't think he has the intelligence to vote. Gengar is a tricky one, and I mean that exactly as I said it. Gengar is, by all intents and purposes, a stalkerish Pokemon who follows people and kills them, according to his Pokedex entry. If you ever find yourself alone with them, you are dead. He has kind of a humanoid figure, but he is a ghost. And he's not really a dead person ghost. He's more of a, I'm created with gas ghost. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the no section. I do not think that he should have the capability to vote. Next up, we've got Snorlax. Now, Snorlax, I'm absolutely giving him a big no. And that is for the simple reason that all he wants to do is eat and sleep, which is cool. But that just means he's not really providing, for the economy. He's not really working for what he gets. So, as somebody who, is not really doing anything, I don't think he should have the right to vote either. He doesn't really think that much. All his mind is thinking is eat, sleep. I don't know if he cares enough about the political system, Next up, we've got one of my favorites. He was my main for a while, Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is creepy. Mr. Mime is terrifying. Mr. Mime, I'm going to give a yes. He's going to be my first Pokemon that I say yes, for one simple reason. Because he's banging Ash's mom. And if he is intelligent enough to be banging Ash's mom, he's intelligent enough to vote in my country. And I know you know that's correct. Next up, we've got Gardevoir, who is the Pokemon that is capable of having a soul connection with a human, a connection so strong that she would sacrifice her life for that person. I think that if she's willing to sacrifice her life for another person, aka join the army or something like that, she should be allowed to vote. So yep, I'm putting Gardevoir as my second yes of the day. Next up, we've got Absol. Now, Absol, his whole backstory is that he can forewarn natural disasters. He has the ability to just sense natural disasters coming, which I think is fascinating. And I believe that if he has got the intuition to sense natural disasters, and not only sense them, but come and warn people about them, I think that Absol could sense enough energy, could sense the negative energy in the political climate enough that he's smart enough to vote, so we're gonna give him a yes. Now, Garchomp, he's just a little land dragon guy. He's just out there doing his best thing. I don't think he's got a lot of thoughts going on. He's motivated mostly by violence. He's motivated just by his base inner instincts. I don't have a lot of feelings on Garchomp, honestly. I've never really loved Garchomp, never really hated Garchomp. I'm just kind of neutral about him, but I'm gonna go ahead and give him a big ol' no. I don't think Garchomp should be voting for anything. Next up, we have Lucario. Now, Lucario is the aura Pokemon. He can sense the goodness in people. He can just read your aura just by looking at you. I think that he would also have the ability to look at the aura of the political candidates, plus he speaks with people. He has the capability of human talk and intelligence. I believe that he is smart enough and has the moral centricity to be able to vote in an election. I am absolutely giving Lucario the big yes. Next up, we've got Crustle. Crustle, we're not giving him the vote. Crustle's not a snail. He's just a crab under a rock. He's just living his best life under his rock. He's not getting any political information because he's, staying underneath. He's staying in his own zone, which is cool for him. But I don't think he would know enough or have the intelligence to vote in my election. Now, next we've got Greninja. That's a tricky one for me, honestly. Ash's Greninja, I think I would. But this regular Greninja, He is a ninja, though. He has all of his moves are planned out tactics. All of his moves are really... It takes intelligence and planning to be able to do something like that. So honestly, just talking right now, I think I've convinced myself that we're going to give Greninja the yes. I think he has the tactic, and if he can plan out some of his moves like Substitution or Water Shuriken and stuff like that, I think he's intelligent enough to vote. You think? You know? What do you think? Next, we've got Talonflame. Talonflame, we're just giving a no. Talonflame's just a big dumb bird. I don't think he has a lot on his mind other than attack and eat. I really don't think his thoughts go much more than that. I also don't think that the people who play Talonflame in Pokemon Unite have much more thoughts than that. But I don't get to decide whether they get to vote or not. So, for now, we're just going to make sure that Talonflame does not get to vote. Next up, we've got Charizard. Charizard, I feel, is in the same category as Venusaur. He's a great starter. I love Charizard, but I don't think he's smart enough. I've seen Ash's Charizard. That guy's an asshole. I don't think he's smart enough to be voting on anything. And just because he's a big dumb lizard, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put him in the no section. If my computer wants to work with me. Oh, well, Zeraora, you calm down. We're not at you yet. Zeraora, I saw the movie with Zeraora in it. He seemed smart enough to know things, but he also didn't seem super smart. Honestly, he relies on base instincts, which is something that a lot of people who do elections do. And he is a mythical Pokemon. He has the ability to speak with humans. And just based on that, I feel like he should be able to vote. Just from being able to communicate with humans, you know? I feel like that kind of gives him a moral understanding of us. And you could also tell by the way he was taking care of the other Pokemon in the movie that he's definitely got a compassionate side. He would definitely see the moral empathy of an election, and I believe that that would let him give him enough guidance to be able to vote in an election. Next up, we've got Cinderace. I've seen Cinderace in Pokemon Journeys, and I honestly do not believe he has the intelligence to vote in an election. He's just kind of a big dumb jock, which that's a whole other conversation we're gonna have. But I do not think that Cinderace is smart enough to vote in an election. I would not give it to him. No. Next up, we've got Eldegoss. I'm also gonna give Eldegoss the no. I don't think that Eldegoss is capable of voting it. It's just a big cotton ball. It doesn't know anything other than just float in the sky. We're gonna float away, and everything's gonna be great. So Eldegoss, we're putting a big ol' no on. Cramorant is next, and I want you to look at that face. Look at Cramorant's face right here, and you tell me whether or not you think that that Pokemon has any thoughts going through its head, even a little bit. That little bird is so dumb. The dumbest Pokemon. Its face has nothing going on right now, and it's just like meh, meh, meh. No, it was a sheep for some reason. But no, I'm not giving it a passive vote in our election. Next up is Blastoise. Blastoise falls in the same category as Charmeleon, Charizard, Venusaur. It's just an animal. It does not possess higher thought processes. I don't think it's smart enough to vote. I think it just, it's a good Pokemon. I love Blastoise. He's not smart enough to vote. Now, Pikachu is a whole different story, because Ash's Pikachu is one of the smartest Pokemon in the world. Like, it is capable of full-on communication, face morphing, just, absolutely anything. I'm giving Pikachu the right to vote. Pikachu is just a big ol' smarty pants, and absolutely he can vote in my election. Clefable's a weird one, because there's a whole theory behind Clefable. Clefable's not even in the game yet. Why is Clefable on this list? Anyway, we'll talk about Clefable anyway. Clefable could be from the moon. So, I feel like somebody, because we saw the episode of Pokemon where the Clefairy and the Clefable were operating a spaceship, like a whole-ass rocket ship. And I feel like if Clefairy and Clefable can operate if they can operate an entire spaceship, I feel like they're intelligent enough to vote in an election. I feel like voting in an election takes a lot less thought process than running a rocket ship, Next up, we've got Ninetales. Now, Ninetales is actually a very intelligent fox Pokemon. It's got a lot of psychic powers possessed in each of its tails. The Alolan Ninetales, I'm not so sure if it follows the same thought process, but it's capable of higher thought, it's capable of bonding with humans over that, and it's capable of communication. Although it is just a fox, I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a no. We're not letting Alolan Ninetales vote in our election. Next up, we've got Wigglytuff. Now, Wigglytuff is a beautiful singer, but my biggest reason that I'm going to give it a yes is that it is capable of empathy to the point of being frustrated. It wants to sing, it wants everybody's attention, but it knows when people are not giving it attention. And it is capable of getting upset about that and capable of drawing on their faces. I'm giving Wigglytuff a yes. Slowbro is a mixed one for me. I want to say yes, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to give it a no, just because it does not have the intelligence to do so. If it was a slow king, I would absolutely immediately be putting it in the yes category, but I have to put Slowbro in the no category because all the toxins are running to its tail, and it's just not going to show up to the election day. It's not going to show up there. It's not going to want to vote. It's just kind of going to be there, you know? Next up is Machamp. We're giving Machamp a yes. I don't know about its higher thought processes. I feel like it's somewhat intelligent, kind of, but it's the fact that Machamp is a big buff dude. Machamp is literally just a man with 4 arms. That's literally what his Pokemon is. His belt is like his skin, which it's a little weird. He might, if I do want him to vote, I might have him put some clothes on first, some actual clothes, you know. But Machamp being just a big man, just a big burly man, I'm giving him a yes. Absolutely. Next up, we've got Blizzy. Blizzy is a nurse, basically a doctor at this point. Blizzy knows when people are hurt. Blizzy will run and heal them. Blizzy is a very intelligent and compassionate creature. For those reasons, I'm going to let Blizzy vote. I think it's a good reason. The people who are like our nurses, our healthcare system, they should absolutely be voting. Next up, we've got Mamoswine. Mamoswine is a mammo. He is an extinct creature. Basically, in my mind, he's a boomer. And I feel like people above the age of, let's say 70 to be safe, but 60 is pushing it, shouldn't vote in elections. I believe that once you're 70 years old, your time is gone. You should not be affecting matters going on with the current economy. So you should absolutely not be voting, since you're just a resurrected ancient creature because you learned ancient power and evolved, you know? You're out. Sorry, boomers. Next up, we've got Sylveon. Sylveon, I'm giving it a no. Sylveon's literally just a dog, or a fox, or some kind of canine creature. It does have the whole emotion and the bond with humans that Gardevoir has, but it's more like a dog's bond with people, you know? It's not capable of that higher, it just knows that it loves you. It doesn't know why it loves you, it just knows that it loves you. And it's cute and I love him, but we're not giving him the right to vote. Greedent can burn in a fire. I hate Greedent. He was my first ever natural shiny Pokemon, but he's literally just a squirrel who's running around hunting for berries and nuts. He does not have the right to vote. He is not intelligent enough to do that. Decidueye came in a generation that every single Pokemon in that generation were very humanoid. Decidueye, unfortunately though, I do not think out of those 3 should be able to vote. He's very humanoid. But I've seen him in the anime, I've seen him in the games, I've read his Pokedex entries. I don't think he's intelligent enough to vote. I just, you know, I don't think I'd give it to Primarina either. I might give it to Incineroar, because Incineroar is pretty much just a wrestler. I feel like Incineroar I would give the right to vote, but Decidueye, you're out. Next up, we've got Dragonite, who is basically just derpier Charizard, which means we're absolutely not putting him in. He's literally just a big dragon. If he was cooler, if he was smarter, because actually, you know what, never mind. I'm reconvincing myself. Dragonite's a mailman. Like, he performs a job, he delivers letters to people, and like, not even just like a carrier pigeon, like he's got a whole fucking satchel that he delivers letters to in Pokemon the first movie. I hate it. I hate to do this. We're giving Dragonite a yes, because he, you know, if you can work a job, if you can work for the system, if you can carry out employment, you should be able to vote, you know? Next up, we have Serena. My reasoning for Serena is very simple. When Serena defeats you, it steps on your face and laughs maniacally. And if you're capable of dominating somebody in that fashion, if you can step on me, you get the right to vote. No further questions. Trevenant, I was very conflicted about for a couple of reasons. So Trevenant is, well, not even Trevenant, Phantomp is the soul of a dead child who wandered off in the woods and died, and their soul fused with a tree stump. Now, when it evolved, did it become an adult? because if not, it's too young to vote. But did it become an adult? Also, it's still a dead person, so should dead people be allowed to vote, like spirits? I don't think dead people or spirits should be allowed to vote, and I don't know the emotional maturity, I don't know the emotional maturity of a Trevenant, and I don't think, I'm gonna have to give him a no for all those reasons, because he's dead, I don't think he's mature enough, and plus, he spent any of his adult life in the woods, because he was a kid when he got lost in the woods and died. So there's no way he's going to be able to know what's going on with the political climate and be able to make an accurate decision on how to vote. I mean, come on. Next up, we've got Aegislash. Now, this is a similar case to Trevenant. Aegislash is a warrior who possessed a sword and eventually a sword and shield. Now, as somebody who fought in a battle, not me, obviously, Aegislash, as somebody who fought and died in a battle and became a possessed sword, I think he's an adult. I think he's an adult spirit. Now, should spirits be able to vote? I don't know. But if we're giving Pokemon the right to vote, I believe we should give Aegislash the right to vote. He gave his life in battle and fought, hopefully bravely, you know? I would assume he fought bravely. I assume he didn't just, you know, die cowardly and then possess a sword and shield. So because of his brilliance and him once being human, I'm gonna go ahead and give him the right to vote. Next up, we've got Hoopa. Now, Hoopa is more of like a trickster god, like a genie. So it's really, this was another one that I was on the fence with, because I don't know about Hoopa, because he's got the intelligence to create portals, he knows exactly where he's sending people, he's very much a trickster god. It's kind of like Loki of the Marvel Universe, or the MCU, or the comics, or even like Norse mythology. Like, would I give Loki the right to vote? I would have to say yes. I would say that with all of his tricks and all of his pranks, Hoopa is intelligent enough to make the decision on who to vote for. I feel like he is, so I'm gonna have to give him a yes. Our last one, Deraludan. I'm not giving Deraludan the right to vote. He's literally just a dragon that somewhat looks like a skyscraper because, you know, why not? His design's alright, but I don't think he's capable of the higher thought process that requires to vote. He's just, you know, a metal dragon. So we are going to put him in the no category. There is one more. Well, two more, maybe. So I will count Azumarill. Azumarill is coming out in, as of right now, looking at my not watch, he's coming out in 3 days. Azumarill, I would also have to say he can't vote. Azumarill is literally just like a mouse blob thing, just running around, doing his own thing, swimming, beating Squirtle in races, even though it was Marill back then. But I assume that Marill is probably evolved by now, you know? So I don't think Azumarill has the right to vote. The same with Delphox, who is the rumored next Pokemon after Azumarill. Delphox, I will give the right to vote. I believe that Delphox should have the right to vote. Delphox is literally a witch, humanoid, capable of casting magic. I feel like somebody with that kind of intelligence absolutely can vote in my system. So that is all of the Pokemon from Pokemon Unite, and who I think should be able to vote, and who I think shouldn't be able to vote. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Do you agree with some of my choices? Do you disagree with some of my choices? I think this is a pretty fair list on who I should or should not vote for. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And if you guys have other ideas for cool river rankings that I could do, just completely random things that you'd like to see me rank on a list, let me know down in the comments or send me a message as well. You guys all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time right here on The River. Peace out, guys.